what is happening in like us here.
Exactly. The mood is quite high in the camp when you look at the social media um, and the Football Association of Zambia reports about how players are, feeling, especially that the country is getting back to AFCON. And looking at this coming AFCON, Katushi, you agree with me that it has comprised of the big houses of football in Africa. We talk of Cameroon, Nigeria, Senegal, Mali, South Africa, the 1996 champions, Nigeria 1994 champions, Cameroon 2002 champion. We also the Nigerian, the 2013 champion, the Ivorian, the 2015 champions. So you can tell that this is a highly expected tournament to be very, very tough. And it's good that players from our country are coming out so positively, especially during interviews. You could tell that indeed they are ready for this tournament, and we look forward that indeed 17th day arrives so that we can see how we are going to fall AFCON in Ivory Coast.
Chilando, what should we expect at the AFCON? Should we be highly expectant?
Football is about statistics. Tuition, we are coming from a three tournament in absence. The previous three editions, we did not make it. This is the first time when we are going into this tournament. And when you look at the record, we only have two players who have participated at actually three players. That is Stopira Nsunzu, Rodrick Kawe, and Lubambo Msonda. And when you look at the last tournament for Rodrick, he did not even make any cut into the team, not even coming from the bench. So you can tell that this is a youth team which is very, very inexperienced when it comes for a tournament at that magnitude. So we are not supposed to be in high expectancy of this team, but it's a team that can just pull a surprise. Because for me, if we make it to the second round, for me it's a bonus, because it's like we are exposing this team to the highest competition in Africa for the first time. So you need first to understand, because I'll drive you back, Kadushi, for the team that won the 2012, which is our benchmark of reference. We find that in that team, most of the players, 2003, 2004, that's when they made the first appearance at the national team. And in 2006, we went just for a build-up, and we were eliminated in the first round. In 2008, again, we were eliminated, but we played a better football than in 2006. In 2010, we improved more, and we actually went on to the last 16 when we were eliminated through the penalty shootout against Nigeria. And then in 2012, we managed to win. So when you look at the trail of the players, they were the same. So they grew up together. They were groomed together. They came to understand each other. My colleagues have talked about team cohesion. So that team, indeed, it had that working to.
But it's not that good against Congo DR.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last time we met them at AFCON in 2015, Katush, we drew. I think with Given Singoma scoring an equalizer. But when you look at our team, for me, as Congo may have a better team on paper.
Started in your team.
Yes, they may have a better team on paper. That's what I would say, because I've got stars and experienced players like the likes of Mulumbu, Iwisa from Brentford. But for me, I believe our team has got what it takes. The only thing that we need to do is that got preparation. I like the fact that we're
bringing yourselves first round exit.
Not first round exit, but for me, we shouldn't expect this team to lift the AFCON. I think that would be too much if you ask me my own opinion. Why? It's talked about because we're lacking the experience, the tournament experience, and most of the players haven't been exposed to such a level. But talking about DRC, yes, our history, but I can tell you that if we take that game with a positive approach, with the way it requires, we can beat them, and they are beatable. And I can tell you that if we win the first game, that will set a benchmark, especially the players, because they know that if you win the first game, in the next game, definitely it will be something easy. But I believe the only way we can beat Congo is by approaching this game with a positive attitude.
Is Congo beatable, Chad?
Any team is beatable. It depends on how the approach is. For instance, we have got a new coach in the name of Avram Grant, whom we have seen. I think he has done a lot when it comes for the psychological aspect in the team. I can tell you the way we played against Ivorian, very, very difficult game, playing in the midfield against Frank Casey, very, very experienced, and outplay the Ivorian to some extent, despite their a very, very experienced coach. So it's very easier to beat Congo. But what will matter is the approach. Like what my colleague has stated, that the positive approach is the one that we're supposed to have, and forget about the history sometimes, because sometimes positivity. And the good part is that this is the first time when we are going to AFCON with with a good number of players playing at the highest level of football in the world. We talk of England, we talk of Italian football. That's the highest level of football in the world. And this is the first time when Zambia is going to AFCON with that level of the players playing at the top-notch football in the world. So these guys, they are going there also to showcase that if we are able to do it at the club, like at Lecce in Italy for Lamek Banda, because the young man who has come back into the scoring ways, Patson Daka with Leicester City. If they're able to do that, what about when they meet DRC? Of course, psychologically, they are prepared. And
do you think DRC is scared of Zambia to some extent?
Definitely, Katush, they are scared because they know what it takes. Look, in 2015 when we met them, most of our players were actually doing very well in DRC, the likes of Gibbons in